All right, it's starting, so whenever you're ready.
Well, Master Academy debate team, it's been a great year. As we come to the end of our annual award ceremony, I would like to discuss some issues that we need to put behind us once and for all. Now, team, we all remember the great celery debacle of 2016 between Eugene and Gertrude, about whether it's better to eat celery with ranch or with peanut butter. And we especially know what happened next with the physical altercation that followed. And it seems as though something like this happens to us every year. So I felt it necessary to talk to you about opinion intolerance. According to Oxford Dictionary, opinion intolerance is when one person belittles another person's opinion simply because it differs from their own. In terms all of you debaters will understand, result. Opinion intolerance makes it difficult to have open and honest conversations. In my case, we don't always have to agree, but we do need to be more respectful of other people's opinions. Because having a different viewpoint doesn't necessarily mean that you are wrong. Today, my fellow master debaters, we are going to claim the problem, then cross-examine the causes, and avoid fallacy as we discuss some solutions. The upperclassmen here will remember that meet back in 2013, the one that served ice cream sundaes, which then resulted in the pronunciation of whipped cream versus whipped cream fiasco. Now, Angus, I know that whipped is one of the most annoying things to hear, but just because Herman didn't know any better is not reasonable cause to start a food fight in the middle of the cafeteria. Classic ad hominem. The problem behind opinion intolerance can be broken down into being ignorant and having a superiority complex. Initially, opinion intolerance reinforces ignorance. Not looking at the other side of an issue means that we're not aware or appreciative of the views of the other side. According to the Huffington Post on July 8, 2014, we shoot down the views of the opposing side because we fear that the beliefs we've held onto may be weakened or proven wrong. When we completely disregard other people's ideas, it makes the other side of the argument start to disappear. Just like my love life. Moreover, opinion intolerance leads to a superiority complex. A superiority complex means that not only are you the greatest person in any room, but all others are below you and not worthy. One of the most frequent symptoms of a superiority complex, according to the Business Insider on June 16, 2015, is that the afflicted individual thinks that he or she is always right and can never be wrong. That sounds kind of like my dad. It's like every uncivil social media conversation is migrating into real life. Opinions get voiced in public, loudly, and we can't just scroll past, believe me, I've tried. Continuously belittling other people's ideas is what can cause small issues to turn into unsolvable problems, and big issues to start tearing our country apart. I almost quit debate my freshman year. After the first practice of the season, I witnessed the infamous Marvel versus DC dispute between Doyle and Irwin. Doyle was in tears, and Irwin was so mad he chain puffed his inhaler dry. The causes behind opinion intolerance are reasoning with emotions and using a defense mechanism. The main cause behind ignorance is that when personal beliefs are challenged, people tend to react with their emotions rather than thinking about the situation logically. Life Science states on January 26, 2015, that passing judgment on something is less of a cognitive process and more of an emotional one. It's just like when I see a big bowl of greasy, artery-clogging homemade mac and cheese, my brain's telling me no, but my body's just telling me yes. Reacting based on feelings and emotional ties toward a subject is what can lead to the ignorant resistance to opinions that may challenge our beliefs. challenge our beliefs. Furthermore, having a superiority complex makes it difficult to even have a civil discussion about any issue because you don't want to be proven wrong. The October 8, 2013 Huffington Post affirms this, stating that someone that displays egotism may not always be as full of it as they may seem. They're just trying to feel important. Basically, egotists are more concerned with raising themselves up than with who they may be putting down in the process. Dad. To be concise, they're just mean. But my junior year, we endured the worst of it in all of my years on this team. On a bus ride home from a meet, Mildred and Winston were arguing about Star Wars versus Star Trek, and the battle of space supremacy ensued. Mildred was so mad at Winston, she broke a window after hurling her lint roller at his head. Live long and prosper. There are two simple solutions that can help cure opinion intolerance. Know your facts and accept your humanity. A quick fix to ignorance is to simply do your reading. When a new issue comes up and you'd like to know more, look into it. But before you form your opinion on the subject, make sure to look into both sides of the argument using reliable sources. So says Wikipedia. According to the article published on April 9, 2014 by the journalism group Greenville Online, if someone's opinion is not based on solid evidence, it is destructive. Having an informed and educated opinion results in having a more valid argument. A necessary step in diminishing your superiority complex is accepting your humanity. You are a human. Sometimes you're going to be wrong, and it's okay. The June 11, 2014 Time magazine states that there is no reason to feel any shame because you are who you are, a person. We can't always be right. And as one of the greatest philosophers of our time, Dr. Seuss once said, "Today you are you. This is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you." Learning to accept this fact will make it much easier to discuss opinions and issues in the future, and maybe even come to a reasonable understanding, Dad. Well, I can see that Coach is giving me the time signal, so I'll begin my summation. The preponderance of the evidence supports my affirmation that opinion intolerance refutes open and honest communication. I've also explained some of its causes, and we can all be resolved in putting an end to this mindset. In our American history, we've witnessed many interesting presidential debates over the years. Kennedy and Nixon, Reagan and Mondale, Donald Trump and, well, everyone. And then there were the two that started it all. Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas. If it hadn't been for those two great debaters, this amazing event would have never been created. And if we didn't have debate team, what would we do?